apparently it's marriage week coming up. I heard this from a friend of mine, but I thought every week was marriage week. Veda Jacobs from Family Life joins us. Kia ora, good morning.
Kia ora, good morning, Andrew. Yeah, I'm sure if you're married, every week is a married week, right? Till death do you part.
You don't take a week off every now and again. I mean, you can take a week off, but take the week together. Go away together somewhere. That's the sort of thing that you need to continue to build a healthy marriage. And honestly, that in the build up to marriage week, that's what we're talking about. How to, I suppose, value add, how to increase the importance of your marriage, how to invest in your marriage.
Well, they say that you can tell a lot from a person by looking at their bank account, right? Their bank statement, where, not how much money they have in their bank, but actually where the money they have goes to. So I think it's very similar when it comes to marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell a lot from a person, and you can tell a lot from a couple by how much time they choose to invest in being intentional about growing their marriage relationship.
Not just the money, but the time. I want to be controversial here for a moment, because I also think you can tell a lot about a married couple as to whether or not they have separate or joint accounts. Actually, whether or not it's, oh no, this is my money and this is her money, and here's the stuff that we have to agree to make decisions on. I think it's all got to be in the same bucket. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for an argument, right?
Well, asking that question sets me up for an argument. So let me just say, when two became one, that didn't just mean our lives together. That means everything. And so practically how you live this all out, I think really matters. And I think there's a lot of, we did a session on this not too long ago around what we call financial oneness or financial intimacy. And just the importance of actually having that transparency and intimacy in that relationship, because ultimately if two are joining together as one, do you still want that separation? I mean, do you still want to treat it that way? And I guess if you do, my question would be, well, are you pursuing oneness? And so that is what marriage, not the financial aspect, but the oneness, that's what marriage week, at least here at Family Life, is all about. We want to actually help celebrate marriage as something God designed for the flourishing of people, and to create a space where kids can grow up as well. That's often the offspring of marriage. And I just want to acknowledge, and I know there are some married couples out there who, for whatever reason, are maybe would love to have children but are unable to. And my heart goes out to you. I can only imagine what that feels like. But we want to talk about for a moment just marriage, the way God designed it, as a place, an institution for couples to thrive. If we build marriage on God's design, and for the offspring of those couples to grow up in a stable, flourishing environment. And so that's what Marriage Week is all about. It's first recognizing the institution of marriage as important and why it's important. But then secondly, let's take this week to actually talk about all the ways that we could be growing together in our relationship.
I mean, it's not all about bunches of flowers and date nights, although that's not a bad place to start. And it's possibly worth asking, when was the last time that we did that? And if you can't remember, maybe it's time to book one, right?
That's it. So I'll tell you a quick story, and I'll share some of the things that we'll be sharing next week, mostly through our social media channels. But maybe some people want to get in on the fun a bit early and sort of plan their next week in terms of how they want to celebrate it. Obviously, we want to make marriage and intentional marriage a celebration. That's all here. However, for 1 week, next week, the 8th to the 14th of September, let's see if we can raise as much awareness as possible about the importance of marriage, one, and then also why marriage is actually a phenomenal thing, a great thing when it's done well. I think the media and Hollywood has painted marriage quite negatively, this sort of ball and chain, oh, there goes your freedom type of thing. But marriage is one of the most beautiful spaces you will, I guess, live in your life if you're married. And and if you're actually doing it the way God decided. But let me tell you a story about dates, about regularity and dates.
Yeah.
There's a counselor who's counseled maybe, I think, over 4,000 couples who said this words. He says, I've never met a couple seeking a divorce who has regular date nights.
Wow.
Now, that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
You would think a date night, needs to be fancy restaurant, dinner and a movie type of thing. Doesn't have to be. It's just about setting aside intentional time focused just on the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have kids, try and make the conversation not about the kids, but just about the two of you. Just enjoy one another.
That can be a challenge. Whoever talks most about the kids has to pay for the meal. Although, no, we're on joint accounts. That's right. So.
Yeah, so we're paying for the meal. Exactly. So I'll tell you a story that what happened to us, Alra and I, when Gabriella, our youngest, was still about 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
It was a busy season of life. And obviously, like, we actually didn't get that much time and opportunity to just connect, just the two of us. So what made a big difference for us was in that season, we actually took like 30 minutes in the middle of a day. It was actually on a Tuesday, roughly after our conversation. Andrew, you may have heard me speak about this before, but on the Tuesday, sort of around lunchtime, when she went down for a nap, Alra and I just had a coffee date in the middle of the day.
Wow.
In the middle of the week. It was my work from home day. And so that day we decided we're going to prioritize that. And my mind thought, how much of a difference is 30 minutes in the middle of the week going to make? But it made a massive difference. And I could tell the difference by just the sense of growing affection between the two of us. And also, I guess, the lack thereof when we didn't have those 30-minute slots in the week. So I highly recommend carving out some time that's intentional, just the two of you, whether that's a date night regularly once a week, or maybe once every couple of weeks, if that evening in the week is a challenge for you, whether that's something in the middle of the day, if that's, I guess, find what works for you, but carve out that space that says, hey, this is about the two of us connecting and growing together.
Yeah. No, that is so good indeed. And look, for different couples, it will look different in terms of your commitments and obligations. But even if it's just, hey, while you're getting ready, I'm going to make a cup of tea. Let's have a cup of tea together and pray before we both go off to work. Gosh, that can make the world of difference, right?
Yes. And look, we might not go deep into the date night and all that works, but let me rapid fire a few things that we're looking at doing or promoting next week, and people can sort of jump in on that. So the website is not live yet, but it's familylife.nz/marriage week. So we've made it easy. But if you land there right now, you'll get a 404 page. So just wait for next week.
Yep.
But we've got something brand new that we're actually launching, and it's called the marriage assessment, the couples check-in.
Wow.
It's not a comprehensive assessment. It takes you about 5 or 7 minutes to do. And even though we collect your email to deliver the assessment to you, you actually take it anonymously, and the results are anonymous.
Yep.
But what I really love about this particular assessment, it measures the flourishing in your marriage based on your own answers. And what I found, even in answering those questions, it got me thinking about, there's an area that we maybe want to focus on.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, the results are not complicated. It's really simple. It gives you 1 strength and 2 areas of growth that you can work on. And so if you're saying, hey, I want to invest in my marriage, I want to make it better, where do I start? Well, taking an assessment like that is a great place to start, because you get to celebrate what you're already doing well, and you get to actually see, hey, here's an area for us to grow in. So that's the marriage assessment, and that will be going live and be available on the website on Sunday evening this week.
Cool. I mean, that's so good to say, hey, here's something to celebrate, here's some stuff to work on. And hey, you don't even have to have a discussion and agree on it, because the survey does the work for you, right?
Exactly.
This is what the survey says. This is what our focus should be. Yeah, super good.
Yeah. So that's it. And look, throughout the week, we'll be sharing other resources and pointing people towards podcasts and free things we have on the website. On Wednesday, I'm sort of looking over at our schedule here.
Yes.
On Wednesday, we're talking about getting away for a weekend. About those weekend remembers that we have. Unfortunately, they're all sold out, even though it's 2 months to go to that getaway. They're sold out for this year.
I mean, it's a good problem to have for you guys, but it is a wonderful investment for your marriage. And I suppose the message is get in early. And actually, I mean, lots of good resources going to be on the website next week for Marriage Week. Goes live on Sunday. However, you can start now. You can go to familylife.nz. There's lots of wonderful resources there. But hey, make a note in your calendar to go back on Sunday to make Marriage Week something special, not just for the guys at Family Life, but for you in your marriage as well. Do check it out, familylife.nz. And from Sunday /Marriage Week, Vaynard, thank you so much for work you do. Thanks for joining us.